only one place to start.
Corner's taken short. It's Cole Palmer! He's done it! A hat-trick! Chelsea win 4-3! This is absolutely unbelievable! Chelsea subs spill out onto the field of play. Manchester United cannot believe it. Chelsea have scored twice in stoppage time.
Joe Shannon enjoyed it, didn't he?
It's huge.
That's proper. That's proper commentating, that is as well, Joe. One of the best in the business.
Like when you hear that, though, it's just it's goosebumps, isn't it? Like when you hear that kind of commentary, that kind of passion, it's why football is totally unrivaled. It's unmatched. Nothing can inspire me quite like a last-minute winner like that.
Nothing does. And there's been so many in the Premier League this season. There's been a lot for your boys as well, some big goals as well. And that young man who you heard there at the top, Cole Palmer, has been, I guess, the catalyst for all good for Chelsea. And it's not been that much good, but what there has been, he's been at the forefront of it. Yeah, I mean,
he's the jewel in the crown. Look, the crown isn't particularly sparkling at the moment, but Cole Palmer's performances, it's actually unlike anything that I think I can really... I don't think I've seen it before.
Hazard-like?
No, because it's different, because as much as Hazard was a jewel in the crown and was obviously unplayable at times, Hazard was linking up with players like Willian and Pedro and Diego Costa and Cesc Fabregas. There were some very good players around him, whereas for Cole Palmer, do you remember there was a clip fairly recently when Tim Sherwood was speaking to Cole Palmer on the pitch, and it was positioned...
Almost tried to make him throw his teammates under the bus.
Yes, and it was mistimed from Sherwood, but I think the point that Sherwood was trying to make is that he was so much better than everyone around him, and that is true. Cole Palmer's performances, we are the very definition of a one-man team. If you stop Cole Palmer from playing, you probably stop Chelsea from winning. It's a very easy thing to say. It's a very difficult thing to actually do, because he has been brilliant this season. I cannot see... Do you know... I don't know if this is going too far, Eddie. I feel like he's already got Young Player of the Year wrapped up. I think that's in the bag. He is the Young Player of the Year this season. He's on course to win the Golden Boot this year. He is amazing, and we have to always remember that as impressive as Bukayo Saka has been and as impressive as Phil Foden has been, it is far easier doing the business for an Arsenal team capable of accruing win after win, been the best team in the Premier League this calendar year, or a Manchester City team under Guardiola who are treble winners. Cole Palmer is doing it for a club that are in total and utter disarray.
To kind of push back on that a little bit, and look, by the way, I think Cole Palmer's fantastic. And I'm with you, by the way. I think he's a shoe-in for Young Player of the Year. I do think if you are the best player, though, this season at Man City, because they've got so many, you must be unbelievable. And that's Phil Foden. If you are one of the best players at Arsenal, and they're so good this season, you have to be phenomenal.
But the conditions are there for you. No, but the conditions... Look, I don't take anything away from Phil Foden here. I think he's been one of the best players in the league this season. I think he's unbelievable. I think he must start for England. I think he's one of the most mercurial talents this country's ever produced. I love Phil Foden. But I also think that at Manchester City, you are set up to succeed. At Chelsea, I feel like you're set up to fail. Cole Palmer coming into a club in total and utter disarray, for a manager that's completely unpopular, universally unpopular at Stamford Bridge, for a team that has no real identity, and then he puts in performances like that. Do you know, I'll go so far now as saying he has to start for England. I don't know how. I don't know how you make it work. I don't know how you balance that squad, but we cannot have a player of Cole Palmer's quality not starting for England.
Yeah, he won't.
But he has to. It's a great problem for Gareth Southgate to have. He has to find a way around this.
He is that good. He's obviously had, as you say, a very good season. A text is just coming in. Again, get your texts coming in. 81089. I want to quickly read it out. Andy, because I disagree with it first and foremost. And how many pens has Palmer got? Foden, for us, 0. Andy in Manchester. Cole Palmer's pens haven't been when Chelsea are 4-0 up. They've been when big pens, the Man City
pressure
one.
penalties, last minute, Manchester City, absolutely.
Big penalties.
Yeah.
So it's one thing scoring pens, and I get that, by the way. Look, I mean, 8 of his 16 league goals have been penalties, right? So you've got to mention it.
I find sneeriness to penalty scoring very
weird.
They're
not that easy. People act like they're easy. It's just a walk in the park. Look how many people miss pens.
I completely agree.
And he's a young player taking them and stepping up as well.
Have you heard him talk about penalties as well? He was asked, wasn't he, yesterday by I think it was Jules Breach, who basically said, penalties, and he was so confident in his own ability. He's like, well, I'm obviously not going to miss a penalty, am I? Touch wood. But that's how confident he is. I almost feel like he needs to be on the plane for England, because at some point you assume that in a European Championships in Germany, on the road to Berlin, at some point England will be in a penalty shootout.
But Man City have got so many fantastic players, right? Young players as well coming through. You look at Rico Lewis, who every time I see him looks fantastic, right? Was man of the match for one of the England games, wasn't he, a while back? But obviously out of the squad now.
To what Cole Palmer's done.
No, of course. What I was going to get at was, do you think Guardiola looks at it, and obviously, look, best manager we might have ever seen, Guardiola, but do you think he looks at it and think, I might have got this one wrong?
I think he got it wrong. I think the reason why there is a genuine 3-horse race for the Premier League title and Manchester City could easily not win the league is because, as brilliant as Guardiola is, I think he's made a pig's ear of the transfer policy.
Yeah,
allowing Cole Palmer to leave is a mistake. It's been proved to be a mistake.
Mahrez, Gundogan.
Allowing those two players to leave.
Yeah.
And then I would also say that the recruitment, like how good is Mateus Nunes, really?
It's not worked,
has Mateo Kovacic landed? Is he doing the business?
None of them.
You know,
none of them have really landed. Doku's been a hit and miss.
I know.
I think none of them really landed.
And Cole Palmer, when you think about where Manchester City have struggled this season, in fact, Manchester City have won European silverware this season. The reason why Manchester City made history and won a Super Cup this season is because of Cole Palmer's winner. Cole Palmer's already contributed massively to Man City season, let alone Chelsea.
You're Cole Palmer loving. But, I can understand the desperation because there's no one else to love at Chelsea. So you're only just really going.
No, but it's not.
I get it.
I get it. As much
it's been an horrendous
I'm always
season.
Love him.
It's been an horrendous season for Chelsea.
Hang on, this is very passive aggressive for no reason.
It's horrendous.
No, it has been a bad season. But you're suggesting that my love is is misplaced.
No, but
it's undue.
You're like, he has to start for England.
He's the man for the big occasion. He's the man that can deal with the pressure. He's the man.
Where does he start
that belongs in the limelight? Well, this is. A question for Gareth Southgate. Yeah. Gareth Southgate has a wonderful problem. This isn't a problem as such, is it? This is a problem in the same way that saying my wallet is too small for my £50 notes. It's not a problem, is it? It's a wonderful problem to have. Gareth Southgate has the opportunity to play Phil Foden and Cole Palmer and Bukayo Saka in the same team. Make it work.
Look at this one here from Dean. Cole Palmer, you got to look at your texts before you send them in, Dean. Cole Palmer, great player, but hasn't done it against one of the big teams yet. Did it against City? We just said it. We just gave you an in. Did it against City. Scored a last-minute penalty against Man City.
Also, would you not say that doing it against Manchester United is still doing it against one of the big teams?
Absolutely.
Is it like, as an institution, Manchester United is still the biggest footballing institution in the country. Doing it against them when he's Mancunian, from a family of Manchester United fans, I think that is the big occasion. In fact, when we went away to Old Trafford, we got beat. Cole Palmer scored a lovely goal at Old Trafford in front of the Stretford end. Of course, he's the man for the big occasion.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.